Hello everyone, welcome to week 8 in analytics. These are your announcements for the week. A couple things. First of all, for those of you who submitted the exam extra credits, those will be graded shortly. Know that those points won't be added to your exam in the grade book. There will just be a separate column that says exam extra credit. So, don't ask about that because that's just the way it works. And it doesn't really matter if we do it as a separate column or adding it to your actual exam grade. It's just easier grade-wise on our end to go ahead and just make it separate. Second thing is you have homework 6B covering the second part of chapter 6 due this week. So make sure that you get that done by Friday. I've seen lots of students turning things in late, and that's just penalizing you. So do what you can to get it in before the deadline. Okay. And then finally, you have your Google Analytics attempt number 1 due this week as well. It is also due Friday. So a couple things about that. There's a document in Canvas that shows you kind of the instructions. I will tell you a little bit that the website has changed a little bit. It's now called Skillshop, but the qualification is still the same. So if you want to basically just Google Analytics individual qualification, or the link in the instruction document still should point you directly to where you need to go. It'll redirect. Okay, and so here it is. All you do is take the Google Analytics Beginner Study course, take the Advanced Google Analytics Study course. Those are basically homeworks to get you ready to take the exam. Once you're finished with those, go in here to take the exam. I think it's 75 questions, something like that, or maybe it's 60 questions. Can't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, just complete the exam. Once they show you what your exam grade was, just submit a screenshot of that, making sure your name is included in that screenshot, and just submit it in Canvas. And I will take a look at that, and basically the percentage grade that you got on that exam will be the grade you get in the course. It will be, however, adjusted if you pass the certification this first time, which means you get a minimum score of 80, and you turn it in by the deadline. I will add 10 points to that. So if you make an 82 on the exam, you'll get a 92 for course purposes. Okay. If you don't pass the certification, you just get what you get. So if you make like a 76, you get a 76. So you get to take this twice. Okay. So if you don't pass it the first time, or you're unhappy with your grade the first time, you can take it a second time. The second attempt is due on the 15th of November. Okay. So if you submit that attempt on time, before the deadline, and you pass the certification, you will get the grade you get on the exam plus 5 points. So if you make an 82, we'll give you an 87. Okay, so it just, I give you a little bit of a bonus for actually passing the certification. Okay, now, if you submit any attempts beyond the second attempt deadline, you don't get any extra points for passing certification. Also, you are subject to the 25% a day late penalty. So you don't want to do that for sure. So again, complete your first attempt by the deadline. Therefore, if you pass it, you get the 10 extra points. If you submit it after the deadline for attempt 1, but before the deadline for attempt 2, you will get 5 bonus points if you pass the certification. And again, if you submit the attempt after the second attempt deadline, you will be subject, you'll get no bonus points, you'll be subject to the 25% daily penalty. You may be asking, well, what happens if I do worse on the second attempt than the first attempt? Well, I will take the highest of the two, but obviously you won't necessarily even have to submit that as second attempt. We'll just go with the first one. So anyways, should be pretty straightforward. If you have questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Make sure you get that done. Do plan a couple of hours because it takes a bit of time to get through the tutorials, and once you do that, you should be prepared for the exam. And I would definitely take the exam pretty soon after you did all the tutorials. That way everything is fresh in your mind. That's it. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.